You want to reinvent yourself, but if you're honest, nothing you've tried is working. Is it? Not the journaling, not the vision boards, not the affirmations. They never worked for me either. In fact, I thought there must be something wrong with me. But when people get real, they always tell me it's not working for them either. I found a process that is so effective, so fast, it almost felt illegal. It was like my life started progressing 100 miles an hour, and it hasn't slowed down since. I no longer have to work up the motivation to take action, nor am I slowed down by fear of making mistakes. If you use what I give you in this video, you won't have to try to discipline yourself into changing. You'll reinvent yourself without even trying. That's exactly what happened to me, and it's what I've been using with my clients for more than a decade. First, relax everything you think you know about reinventing yourself. Your beliefs about what it takes to change are probably what's keeping you stuck. The truth is, you're already at least 80% of who you want to become. Yes, right now. Even if that sounds like a lie, even if you don't believe it yet, try this. What if it's true? What would that be like? How would you think differently this very moment about yourself and your life? What would you do differently if you knew you were already mostly who you want to be? What difference does that make this very day? That's where this begins. And when you see what I'm about to show you, you'll understand why most people never shift, but you can choose to be one who does. What is actually stopping you from reinventing yourself this very moment? If you're self-aware, you know it's your own inner resistance. This isn't about blaming or shaming yourself. It's about taking full responsibility for what your life is like right now and taking responsibility for who you are. Only then can you take full advantage of the effectiveness of Neuro Linguistic Programming. People saying they've tried NLP and it doesn't work, what they're basically saying is, I expected NLP to magically do something to me. NLP doesn't do anything to you. The magic is not found in the wand, it's in the magician. When you're trying to reinvent yourself, you'll notice it often feels like two different voices inside you are fighting it out. One part of you wants to leap forward, take the risks, go for the life you really want, and another part, equally strong, holds you back. In NLP, that's how we refer to them, as parts. And if we don't learn how to work with these parts, we just keep pushing against our own resistance. That's what keeps you stuck. Not a lack of motivation, but inner conflict. I'll show you how this works with a simple example. Imagine a husband and wife. The husband gets a bonus at work. The wife wants to use it to renovate their home. The husband wants to save the money. Both are great intentions, but they're in conflict. They can't do both. Now, who's right? The answer is that he should have never told his wife about the bonus in the first place, and he should have blown it in one night at a strip club. Just checking to make sure you're paying attention. The answer is they're both right, because they're both trying to fulfill deeper values, like freedom, security, and peace, and maybe even love. Until we know what value each part is trying to fulfill, the conflict can't be resolved. But when you uncover their shared values, agreeing on a solution comes natural. Not from compromise, but from alignment. Same thing inside of you. Here's another way to see it. Think about the United States, the oldest democracy and the most successful. One of the reasons it's worked so well for so long is because it wasn't founded on a single culture. It was built on ideals like freedom. So instead of a one-state mandated religion, for example, we go a level higher, freedom of religion. That value allows people of different beliefs and faiths to live and work together. That's what we do with parts integration. We rise above the content of the argument and meet at the level of values. And when we do, all your parts can finally work together. This is where reinvention starts, not by forcing one part to win, not by shutting down the fear or pushing through the resistance, but by understanding that even your resistance is trying to help you. You just need to upgrade its strategy. Every part of you is valid. Every part of you has a positive intention. When you bring awareness to that, you can integrate. And when you integrate, things move without forcing, because now all of you is working in the same direction. I'll give you a personal example. When I left my insurance business to do what I do now, people thought I was crazy, my parents included. If I had failed, there was no safety net. There was no going back. And I knew there were people waiting to say, I told you so. But what I've learned again and again is that what looks like external resistance is almost always just a reflection of internal resistance. The people who we think are standing in our way are just a projection of our own internal obstacles. So how does inner resistance show up in you? You feel stuck. You know you have more potential, but you can't access it. You're tired of trying to prove yourself. You're afraid of failing and everyone seeing it. You doubt yourself even when things are going well. You hesitate even when the opportunity is right in front of you. Sound familiar? You've probably tried all kinds of things to fix this. You've journaled, meditated, maybe even walked on hot coals. But if the resistance is still there, it means it hasn't been understood yet. Just thinking positive thoughts will not make it go away. Parts integration starts with making that unconscious resistance conscious. That part of you that always seems to sabotage your progress, it's not your enemy. It's trying to protect you. Welcome it. Many people find themselves binging videos on YouTube for too long, for example, instead of focusing on achieving their goals. If you were to elicit the deeper intention behind this behavior, you might find that you're fulfilling values like fun and relaxation. Understanding this will enable you to include fulfilling those important values along with your other goals. Every single part of you is trying to help you fulfill deeper values. It might be doing it poorly. It may be using a strategy that no longer fits your life, but that part is in fact working for you. You don't need to fight it, because fighting it is just fighting yourself. It's time to listen to yourself. When someone says, I self-sabotage, what they're really saying is, there's a part of me that I don't yet understand. Parts integration is the process of listening to that part, asking it what it truly wants for you, and then finding a way for that part and your conscious goals to work together. Let's go back to that couple who's going to receive a bonus for a moment. One wants to save, one wants to renovate, and I want them to spend it at the strip club. Just checking again. We ask each of them, what's important to you about that? She might say, I want more space in the home because that will give me peace. He might say, I want to feel secure for the future, which is a clue that feeling more secure probably leads him to feeling more at peace. That's a value that they likely share. If we keep going up the ladder of values, what is known in NLP as chunking up, we find common ground, peace, safety, freedom, love, universal values. Once we reach those, we can ask a more useful question. How can we build a plan that satisfies both of your values using the bonus? That's how parts integration works inside of you. You get clear on what each part is trying to fulfill. You validate it. You update its mission. You bring it back into the whole. That's reinvention. And here's where it gets even more real. If you've tried to hit big goals and keep burning out or self-sabotaging or just stalling for no reason, that's not a discipline issue. That's a parts issue. Your unconscious might not believe the goal is safe yet, or worth it, or truly aligned with your deeper values. In coaching, I help people identify the deeper motivations for wanting to achieve a goal, the unconscious values driving them to want it. Once we uncover them, 50% of the time, they change the goal entirely because clarity on your values will wake you up to goals that will not fulfill you. This way you can change them before you waste time and effort, and instead pursue goals that will fulfill you. So how do you apply this to your inner conflicts and resistance? I'll give you an overview, but before I do that, you can find the entire process in the free PDF I linked in the description of this video. It will guide you step by step. Also, if you want to learn this at a deeper level and become an NLP practitioner, check out my Ultimate NLP Practitioner training linked below this video. It's based on a 24-day training created by Steve and Connie Ray Andreas. One of the best parts is that there are live practice calls hosted by coaches I've certified who will guide you through the parts integration process and many more NLP processes. Now the overview. Step 1. What is something you want to do or achieve but can't get yourself to do? Step 2. Elicit the values behind what you want to achieve. Step 3. Ask yourself what stops you. Step 4. Elicit the positive intention behind the resistance and make sure it's stated in the positive, as in what the part wants instead of what it doesn't want. Step 5. Ask the part if it realizes that the positive intention, also known as a value, is compatible with the values of the achievement. Step 6. The most important piece to this is to give the part a role to play in the achievement of the goal by fulfilling its positive intention. Step 7, check for any further resistance and future pace the change. Here's a bonus tip for those of you who want to take this to the next level. Sometimes we're not just dealing with two parts. Sometimes it's many parts. It can feel like a whole boardroom in your mind. One part is excited, one is terrified, another is skeptical, and yet another is tired of trying. This is still solvable, but instead of rushing to quiet them all down, try this. Imagine you're the CEO of the boardroom, the leader, the one who listens to every voice, not to obey them, but to understand their function. Each voice exists for a reason. They all showed up to protect something important to you and to fulfill positive intentions. So when you sit with them and hear their intentions, something incredible happens. They soften. You're not fighting anymore. You're leading. Most importantly, you're not stuck anymore. You don't have to fix every part. You want to unify them under one clear, aligned vision. This is what integration really means. This is the shift from fragmented effort to empowerment. Reinvention is not about changing who you are. It's about becoming whole again. Every time you meet resistance, it's an opportunity to bring part of yourself home. So get the PDF to start using this process today. And if you want to know the next step beyond this, how to shift your identity by transforming beliefs about yourself, watch this next video right here.